Now, when it comes to laptops, right? Almost everybody that watches this is going to have a laptop. You may be watching on your phone, but most likely you have a laptop, right? So when it comes to laptops versus PCs, there's different requirements, there's different functions, different upgradability, because a lot of times a PC is a lot more customizable than a laptop. Yeah, than a laptop would be, right? So it's differences between cooling. A PC is going to need a lot more cooling. It's going to need a lot more power, so on and so forth. When we talk about laptops in general, you're going to have a couple different input devices. So you're going to have touch pads, stylus, digitizers, webcams, microphones, everything that you can input into the laptop is going to be an input device. Everything that is an output, like a printer, would be an output device. Make sense? So there's a lot of different monitor types. So you got LCD, you got LED, you got OLED, and for most screens now, it's going to be OLED when it comes to laptops. So they're going to have different resolutions, different refresh rates, and the way that you actually replace those screens are different, right? So OLED replacements is pretty easy. The older monitors and screens is going to be a lot more difficult, right? Now, when it comes to a power management, like I said, it's going to take a lot more power to power a PC as opposed to a laptop. So you're going to have AC adapters with different voltages, different wattages, and polarity. Now, when it comes to the actual laptop storage, right? So what you save stuff on, what the operating system is, all that type of stuff, you got a couple different options. Most modern laptops is going to have an SSD, or a solid state drive. So a solid state drive doesn't have any moving parts, right? But it lasts a lot longer and it's a lot quicker to access stuff as opposed to a older mechanical drive with moving parts. Also, another form of storage is called RAM. So RAM is quick access memory, meaning that whatever you're working on right now, the laptop is going to save that shit right on the RAM, right? So it's going to save that on the RAM as opposed to having to go through a terabyte or however big your hard drive is, right? So quick access stuff is stored on your RAM. One of the biggest differences between RAM and a solid state drive or a traditional hard drive is that hard drives, everything stays there, right? Everything is there as long as you don't delete it, as long as it doesn't get corrupted, everything will be there the next time you turn on your computer. For a SSD, for a traditional hard drive, everything's there. But for a piece of RAM, it's volatile, right? So volatile means that when you turn off your computer, everything is gone. Literally everything gets erased and it starts fresh again. So whether it's 8 gigabits, 16 gigabits, everything is erased anytime that the actual laptop loses power, right? So you have to understand just common repairs, right? Common things. Okay, what does it mean if the laptop isn't charging? What does it mean if the screen doesn't come on? What does it mean if the touchpad stops working? What does it mean if the keyboard stops working? The most common repairs, you'll have to be well versed in that just to have longevity in your tech career, right? And in the CompTIA exam. So if you never took a CompTIA exam before, this is one certification and one exam that's going to actually have you fix stuff, right? So it's not just going to be question and answers. What is this? What is that? It'll actually be, okay, this is broke, fix it, move on to the next thing. So one thing I want you to do is this. I want you to start thinking analytically and critically about this stuff, right? I want you to start thinking, okay, if something is broke, what the hell do I do to fix it? If something is acting weird, why is it acting weird?